I just see you were going in somewhere, and I was going. But I figured you wouldn't know that wasn't me. I can't remember what it was just like a week ago, and I was like, "That's your mom." How you doing?
This is who I am. Like one guy, I went to one of his retreats. I told him it's been a while since I've been here. So he took one look at this thing and saw this whole thing there and was like, so are you still here? People just be thinking all kinds of things.
All the time and not look like it was in the way, you know. You know, you should have these at the meeting for last Thursday. Our meetings is the first Thursday. Otherwise I don't see nobody.
I've been putting them up at like 3 weeks.
Okay.
I got a couple places in mind. Oh no, this will be more. I don't got too many places.
Are you still like
I know it's gonna snow.
After passed Marshall moved out, the place we were all at, and I moved in with some friends of mine, but that place was further away from the movie theater, so yeah, especially since if I didn't have a ride, it was just me and my bike. So I got late, and one of the managers just decided to try to. Put my hand down. Be the glory.
Go ahead.
It is now 7:00 p.m. I will call the meeting to order. Ma'am, please.
You're going to do it. Counselor Forbeck is absent. Yusuf Adama is absent. All others are present.
Thank you. Can everyone please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
Item 3 is special orders of the day and announcements. 3A is proclamation 2024 recognizing Black History Month.
This time, Counselor Marquise Carrillo will read the proclamations, beginning with Black History Month. And Here to accept will be Pastor Norris Jackson, Shamari Moore. Sherry Pounds will also be present to accept the proclamation.
All right. Whereas in 1915, the father of Black History Month, Carter Godwin Woodson, founded the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, and in 1926 proposed the celebration of Negro History Week, the precursor to modern-day Black History Month. And whereas Dr. Woodson encouraged a year-round and year-after-year study of African American history, and whereas 2024's Black History theme focuses on African Americans and the arts, and whereas African American art influences the fields of visual and performing arts, literature, fashion, folklore, language, film, music, architecture, culinary, and other forms of cultural expression. And whereas the contributions of African Americans have been vital to the growth and cultural development of Beloit. Now there be a resolve that the City Council of the City of Beloit proclaims February 2024 as Black History Month, and the City of Beloit encourages the support and participation of all community members to observe this month with appropriate ceremonies, activities, and programs. Adopted this day, February 5th, 2024.
Thank you, Councilor Terrell. And at this time, if we could have Pastor Norris Jackson, Shamari Moore, and Sherry Pounds to come forward while he presents. And if you'd like to say a few words, you're certainly welcome to.
You bow first.
Okay. I know, right? I need to. I want to thank you for this distinguished honor. I want you to know that I receive it with a full heart, and I am excited and happy to what God is doing here in the city of Beloit as He is using us. So, to Madam President, to all the council members, to the city manager, and all that are present, I thank you for this distinguished honor, and I receive it with joy. And just know that the honor is not going to shut me up, make me sit down. It's not going to keep me out because there's work to do. And I just want to take this moment and invite all of you out on the 17th of February, starting at 10 o'clock, where we will be gathering at New Zion Baptist Church for the citywide Black History Celebration. There we have two speakers. One will be the distinguished Miss Barbara Hickman, and most of you know her, and we are excited about that. And she is a member of Emmanuel. She will be speaking concerning Mbutu. I am because we are. And also, we are honored this year to have as our keynote speaker Dr. Corey King, who is the newly appointed chancellor of the University of Whitewater. So we invite you to come out and to give support to the Black community as he will be addressing, we feel is a very important topic, which is, if you can call it, the elephant in the room, and that is how to bridge the racial divide in education. And so we're looking for action. We're not looking for another conversation. The goal that we have is that we can build a better Beloit through all of us and all that we're doing. So thank you. I hope I didn't take y'all time.
Thank you, Pastor Jackson.
Thank you, Pastor. I planned on taking my time, and as far as shutting up, you all know I come with a statement, right? Good evening. I'd like to thank City Council President Regina Duncan and City Council members for the honor. I just want to say from the national NAACP standpoint that we want to say everything we do this year is for culture and community. When we say culture, It's a hat tip to our history, a history that people are trying to erase. We know that our impact is vast. This country was built on the physical labors and moves that fuel our creativity and thought leadership. And we need to protect that. When we speak about community, we're talking about our future. Our work for voting rights, desegregation, education shows that what we can do when we come together and do it together. By rallying around Black America's most pressing issues as a community, we can secure the rights, the policies, the future that we're owed. Our culture and community are intertwined. Without preserving our history, we cannot protect and sustain our future. For close to 115 years, the NAACP has worked to do just that. From stoops and corner stores to classrooms in Congress, NAACP leaders have mobilized communities to make sure we excel for generations to come. This year, we're asking a lot of you. As such, we're going to ask you to vote, to volunteer, to get your family, friends, and neighbors to vote, to fight attempts to erase our history, to invest in our neighborhoods, and take care of each other. And we will for culture, for community, for us. In keeping with that, the Beloit branch of the NAACP would like to invite everyone to join us on March 24th for our first Souls to the Polls Sunday. Please come and cast your absentee ballots here at City Hall and have your voices heard. The time will be come after Palm Sunday worship services from 11 to 3. I want to thank our city clerk, Marcy Granger, and her staff because, of course, that would not be possible without them stepping up. In the words of Reverend Raphael Warnock, a vote is a prayer for the future, and we need to make sure our prayers are heard. Together, we can accomplish much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think there's
And then Shamari Moore is going to say something else. I'm sorry. Okay.
I just want to say thank you. It is truly an honor to be here, to be able to be invited to this, but also accept this honor. I am the assistant principal at Hackett, so I just feel it's very important that our students see community members and our students see us in their history, in their curriculum, in the classroom. So I do a lot of work with that, just making sure that we build partnerships with community members to be able to come in. In fact, we have an event on the 23rd where a lot of community members come in and read to our students and just talk to them about what they do out in the community. But it's very important that students see themselves and that they understand that Black history is American history. So I just want to thank you all for the work that you are doing. And again, thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Thank you. And before you move forward, we have a couple other words. Councilor Levy was going to share something, and I had some words to share. Councilor Levy.
Yeah, also after, or can I?
Sure you can. Go ahead. Come on, Pastor.
I'm sorry, y'all. I got to say this here. For the Black History Celebration this year, we're going to be honoring educators. And I felt that was just super important. So we're going from preschool all the way through adult education. So we will be having honorees from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, from Beloit College, from Black Hawk Tech. We have from the Lincoln Academy nominees that are coming, and also from the city, the Beloit School District. They will be sending honorees. Do you know? Well, okay. You're an honoree. Oh, but I let the cat out the bag. But, so, you know, this is very important. Thank you all. I think I got everything. I'm going to sit down.
And Pastor, we don't want you all to go anywhere because we're going to take a group photo. Whenever we have someone that comes out and it's something relative to education and our children, we always take a photo. So don't leave just yet. I know Councilor Levy had some words, and then I was just going to say something, and then we'll take the photo. Councilor Levy.
So to all the recipients this evening, congratulations. And one thing I like about the city of Beloit, my pastor kind of shared it Sunday. He's from Arkansas, and he said one thing he likes is when he goes to community events, he sees a great diversity that he didn't see a lot in Arkansas, and he said, and it's just great to see. So he commended the city of Beloit for that, but I commend the residents who are putting aside, things and coming together and working together. We do have work to do, but I'm encouraged that we continue to bring out the problems and try to address them in a way that we can. So to everyone that received something tonight, congratulations again to Pastor Jackson, who when he got here hit the ground running. And I know that for a fact because somehow he got my number and been wearing me out ever since he got here. But he is very involved in the community. And I think what a lot of people don't know is he does not live in Beloit. When he does something in the community, even tonight, coming to get this proclamation, he's traveling from the Chicago area. So he's traveling over 2 hours to come here to be involved in our community. So that speaks volumes of his dedication to the community here. And I worked where he come from, so I know the drive. But I just commend everyone who are working not only for the month of February, but for the entire year to bridge those gaps. Like I said, we got work to do, but I think as Sherry said, if we continue to address them and address them honestly and pull the Band-Aid off and have those tough conversations, that's the only way we're going to move the ball forward. So thank you.
Council Lee. And I'll just give just a few closing comments that I wanted to say. Our council is truly grateful to our leaders who accepted the Black History Month proclamations this evening, Pastor Norris Jackson, Shamari Moore, and Sherry Pounds. It's important that we recognize and acknowledge the contributions that African Americans have made and are continuing to make in our society. I am proud that Beloit continues to strive in making progress. The city of Beloit is committed to incorporating frameworks of equity, diversity, inclusion, belonging, and sustainability in all areas of the city's strategic plan and in our daily operations. I always say that the world is changing and Beloit is changing with the world. It shows right here in this room. For the first time in Beloit's history, we have a majority Black city council. And we also have the first Black police chief, Andre Sales, and I am the president. It shows young people that their possibilities are endless and that they can serve their community, and not only serve in their community, but they can succeed in their community. So let's all join together to remember, honor, and celebrate our Black history, not just in February, but throughout the entire year. And that said, we'll all go out for a group photo right before you take that, so we'll just stop for a minute.
Okay.
Looking for bugs or what? Yeah. With a sweep. With a sweep.
Okay. Next proclamation, Councilor Terrell.
Okay. Whereas the Black Her Story Day event was founded in the community in 2019 by the late Vicki Lynn. And whereas over the succeeding 6 years, the event has been supported with the leadership of Perkita Purnell, Jennifer Franklin, Rochelle Sims Lumpkins, Adriana Sanders, Stephanie Pruitt, and Shantae Lena Herford. And whereas the impetus behind the event has been to highlight all businesses in the area that are owned and operated by women of color. And whereas Black Her Story Day, the Black Her Story Day event will be held on Saturday, February 10, 2024, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Eclipse Event Center, and feature over 50 Black women vendors, speakers, music, shopping, fashion show, and more to honor the heritage, culture, and excellence of Black women. And whereas everyone is welcome to attend and join in the uplifting of the African American culture and celebrate Beloit's Black History Month. Now therefore be a resolve that the City Council of the City of Beloit proclaims and recognizes Saturday, February 10, 2024 as Black Her Story Day in the City of Beloit, and call upon the people of Beloit to observe the day with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Presented this day, February 5th, 2024.
Thank you, Councilor Trill. If we could have Paquita Purnell, Rochelle Sims Lumpkin, and Adriana Sanders, if you could step forward and accept the proclamation. And if you'd like to say a few words, you're certainly welcome to. Did you want to say something? Paquita?
Thank you, President Regina and the council. We are very excited to carry on Miss Vicki Lynn's legacy. This is our 6th year. The first year us doing it on our own. But she had always said that the second Saturday in February was unofficially Black Her Story Day, and now thank you for making it official for us.
Oh, wonderful. Adriana, did you want to say a few words?
Praise the Lord. Thank y'all so much for this opportunity. I promise I'm trying my best not to cry. But this is definitely our first year doing it completely on our own. I'm just grateful that she gave a great blueprint. I'm grateful that she even came into the center. So y'all know that dollar that y'all get in, 100% of the proceeds go to the Doris Wild Center of Hope. So I'm just grateful for that, and I can't wait to see everybody show up Saturday.
All right. So before you leave, we are going to get a photo, but I did want to give some words on behalf of the council. Thank you. Oh, you want to? Did you want to say something? Come on up. Don't be shy. Yeah, I apologize. Can you say your name?
My name is Walter Blunt. I'm the youngest son of the late Vicki Lynn.
Oh.
I'm very honored that you guys are doing this, because I was surprised to hear about it, because you guys did one for her last year when she passed. So I'm very honored and grateful to hear that you guys are doing it again. I've been helping her out with her expo ever since it was just a little thing at a tattoo parlor that just let her happen to get the spot. Seeing it grow from just that to what it is now, even after she's gone, it's still being recognized, it's still going strong. I gotta say thank you all for everything everyone's doing for this.
And thank you for being here. One thing that I remember last year, our council was representative there, and Marquise, you went along with me, and we could feel her presence at the event. So that really tells that what she was doing was really something. So I just want to say thank you all for being here to accept the Black Her Story proclamation. I'm sure that the late Vicki Lynn would be proud that her legacy lives on. I want you to know that our council takes pride in recognizing this endeavor that will help to enhance and promote Black business women in our community, because when one person thrives, we all do. So thank you for your effort to inspire, to uplift, and empower young girls and others to explore entrepreneurship opportunities and to know that their dreams can be a reality. So we applaud you. So we'll take a quick group photo on this side real quick. You're going to all get your steps in.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Okay. At this point on our agenda, I would like to move item 11A up. Are there any objections from my fellow councilors to moving 11A to this point on the agenda? Okay, hearing none, I'd like to ask the clerk to please read item 11A. But before we begin that, if you would like to leave at this time, you're certainly welcome. We don't mind you staying for the entire meeting, but if you have other obligations, we will certainly respect that. Okay. Now we're at 11A.
11A is Visit Beloit presentation about the Community Vitality Wheel.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you for all coming. Thank you. At this time, Celestino Ruffini is here to present. Welcome, Celestino.
Thank you much. I appreciate the opportunity to briefly present tonight on a topic that we recently discussed at a visit.
I apologize.
No
Celestino,
problem.
for the public, can you please, I think we all know who you are, but can you introduce yourself and say what your
Absolutely.
title is?
I was coming to that, but yeah, I'll do that now. I'm Celestino Ruffini, the CEO of Visit Beloit. And I'm here tonight to present on a topic we recently discussed at the Visit Beloit Board of Directors meeting regarding the Community Vitality Wheel. So appreciate councilors, council president, city manager for giving me the opportunity. This is a recap for Council President Duncan, who has honorably served on our board the last few years, and as well for the city manager who serves on our board. But the Community Vitality Wheel is a concept that I think is important enough that we took time at our board meeting to discuss its impact on not only us, Visit Beloit, as the tourism entity for you, the city of Beloit, but also for the work of our organization moving forward. So just a little bit about Visit Beloit. Our current vision is to transform the greater Beloit region as an extraordinary place to live and as a preferred travel destination. Sort of unique in the fact that as a tourism entity for now 5 years, we have placed the livability of our community first and foremost in our vision statement, because we understand that building a strong quality of life here in this community not only will attract new residents to the community, but also give people reasons to visit our community. And through our mission, we focus on the economic impact. Our organization works very closely with the Greater Beloit Partnership. That is Visit Beloit, the Greater Beloit Economic Development Corporation, the Greater Beloit Chamber of Commerce, and the Downtown Beloit Association. All four of us work individually as organizations to focus on what we can do to grow the economy here in Beloit. At Visit Beloit, we do that through the growth of the visitor economy, which we'll focus on in the Vitality Wheel today. On the slide, you see a logo for the Destination Marketing Accreditation Program. I just always take an opportunity, especially publicly, to discuss the fact that our tourism entity, the tourism entity working on behalf of you, the city of Beloit, as well as the other municipalities, the town of Beloit, city of South Beloit, and village of Rockton, we are one of 200 tourism entities in the entire world that have achieved the accreditation standards, 15 standards, to ensure that we're meeting the best policies and procedures and effectively operating to the best of our abilities for you, our municipal partner. And we're going through the reaccreditation process right now. So if you'd love to learn more, we can talk at a future meeting. The visitor economy is really focused on the benefits of why you want to live here in Beloit. The more that we work on the latter half of what we do as a tourism entity, it's tourism promotion and development, the more we focus on development, it drives the improvement of quality of life here and ultimately the growth of jobs within the hospitality and tourism sector. The bullet points you see on the screen below are a few of the bullet points that we focus on in our day-to-day work. Obviously, we're here to increase the number of leisure visitors that are coming to the community, as well as group travelers and those coming for sporting events, meetings, or conventions. We share information about what there is to do, not only here in Beloit, but throughout the state, through our partnership at the Wisconsin Welcome Center. We're doing research, building our economy, and where the latter end of this presentation goes, converting visitors to believers, builders, and buyers. While we would love to always bring new people to the community, we ultimately hope that those people that we're bringing to the community choose Beloit as a place that they want to be at. So with that, I'm going to share the Vitality Wheel. Just a little background first on the wheel. And here on the screen, you'll see it. So in 2009, Destinations International, which is the trade association of which we work with at Visit Beloit, the chair at that time, Mara Gast, who's the current CEO in Irving, Texas, offered her closing thoughts at the conclusion of her term at our annual convention. In what we now refer to as our famous "If You Build a Place" speech, Mara said this: "If you build a place where people want to visit, you'll build a place where people want to live. If you build a place where people want to live at, you'll build a place where people want to work. If you build a place where people want to work, you'll build a place where businesses want to be. And if you build a place where businesses want to be, we're back to building a place where people want to visit. It all starts with the visit, and that visit doesn't happen without us referring to tourism entities." So last year, our trade association built upon Mara's speech from 2019 or 2009 and provide this new one-page graphic that we utilize in our public presentations and with our board to explain the circle of life that we work within the confines within the tourism industry. And for us, what Mara talked about in 2009 is still true today with a few refreshes. This ring explains the work of a destination organization such as Visit Beloit, and it is directly connected to how slow or fast the wheel turns. Sometimes the wheel turns a little too slow for us, but sometimes in most destinations, the wheel moves pretty darn fast. Through brand management, destination stewardship and investment, and through programs for promotion and sales, all of those you see in the three outer circles going around the ring, the chart shows that none of this happens without tourism entities and investment into the visitor economy. Destination promotion is a catalyst for community vitality, driving what is exactly needed for communities to become destinations where people visit, live, work, and play, and ultimately grow a community. So we see ourselves as the first key to this vitality wheel. We are advocating and working towards building a place that people want to visit. We're encouraging people from not only here in southern Wisconsin, but really from up to a 6-hour drive time to come to Beloit to visit, to see the community that we have developed over 100 plus years. And the more people that come here to visit, and explore and learn and understand our community, ideally those are more people that choose to live here in the region and ideally here in the city of Beloit. The more people live, the more people we can put to work, of which our tourism industry right now supports about 4,200 jobs in Rock County. Here in Beloit alone, Visit Beloit supports about 503 tourism-related businesses, and the majority of those are small businesses, employees of 10 or fewer. And the more people that work here, the more investment that happens. The more investment that happens, the more reasons to come visit. So this community vitality wheel is a brief synopsis of the work that we do as a tourism entity. It's a part of the recent futures study that we just covered with the board at the end of last year. And it's a great look and explanation if you were to briefly explain to people what Visit Beloit's doing on behalf of this municipality or the 3 others we serve. This is a great example to use. With that being said, I'll field any questions. My contact information is 608-313-1360. Celestino at visitbeloit.com. And that being said, any questions or comments? Otherwise, I appreciate the time and yield the balance of my time back to you, Council President.
Okay. Thank you, Celestino. Any comments or questions from councilors?
I'll just
Councilor Blakely.
Make a quick comment. Thanks for the work you're doing out there to help promote Beloit and make us as vital as possible. I've seen many changes in the last couple of years, and part of it is due to the efforts of Visit Beloit. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sherry.
I just want to thank you too, Celestino, for your creativity, thinking out of the box. You've done amazing work with the board of directors. You've done amazing work with the strategic plan. So I've been a part of that for over for the last couple years, and I just see the progress and how it keeps moving forward. So I just want to thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good job today. Next item. Thank you.
Item 4 is public hearings. There are none. Item 5 is public comments.
We have reached the point on our agenda for residents to speak to the council about issues that are coming before us or may come before us in the future. Council members may not act on any requests at this meeting, but may refer a speaker to staff for assistance. We ask that you please hold your comments to 3 minutes or less and refrain from personal attacks of any kind. Public comment is a courtesy, and we expect everyone to conduct themselves in a civil manner. Speakers are asked to complete a public comment form. Madam Clerk, were there any public comment forms submitted prior to the meeting?
There was. Tia Johnson is up.
Can you please come forward, state your name and city of residence for the record?
Tia Johnson, Beloit. Good evening. Global temperatures reached exceptionally high levels in 2023. It was the hottest year on record. Last year was 1.48 degrees Celsius warmer than pre-industrial averages. December was the warmest December on record globally at 1.78 degrees above that average. You may be asking, why is 1.5 degrees Celsius important? All living creatures have habitable zones. Too high or too low of a given condition, creatures will die off. Because of homeostasis, the essential self-regulating process by which biological systems maintain stability relative to conditions, living creatures have been able to survive and prosper, but even this has limits. In the 2015 Paris Agreement, 195 nations pledged to hold Earth's temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius of pre-industrial levels, with an aim to limit the temperature increase to not more than 1.5 degrees Celsius. 1.5 is considered high risk for some regions and vulnerable, but a risk increase for these vulnerable regions. Because I personally have difficulties imagining life without vanilla, chocolate, or coffee, I care about what's happening in Madagascar, the Ivory Coast, and Brazil. Farmers there are not my immediate neighbors, but they are neighbors on this planet, providing us with some of life's simple pleasures. In 2017, it was estimated that 1.5 threshold would occur around the year 2040. This month, it is possible we will have exceeded this threshold for an entire year. This is a problem we all must confront and work to mitigate now. The City of Beloit can enact ordinances that improve both environmental issues and the lack of affordable housing. One suggestion is to not destroy any existing green space, such as the 6th Street housing project. If developers wish to build on property that has been green for 5 or more years, they should have to create an equal amount of green space or pay a fine for loss of these environmental assets. Beloit can enact an ordinance limiting the amount of time a building can sit vacant or a parking lot underutilized. Prior to creating any new buildings, developers should have to use these properties first. Empty or underused properties are a blight on the community, a drain on resources, and can have an overall negative impact on the environment, as recently experienced with the Yates tire fire here in Beloit. We must start caring for Beloiters that don't yet exist. 2040 is around the corner. We are 16 years too early in our damage to this planet. Please be more careful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was all.
Okay. Are there any members of the public who did not sign up that wish to address the council this evening? Final call. Madam Clerk, were there any public comments submitted by email?
There was not.
Public comment is now closed.
Item 6 is consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a councilor member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered at this point on the agenda.
Okay. Thank you. Would any councilor like anything removed from the consent agenda?
I'd like to remove 6E, please.
Okay. Councilor Day would like to remove item 6E.
Second.
Okay. Wait, not yet.
There is no need for a second to remove an item from consent.
So can I please get a motion to approve the consent agenda, including items 6? If there are no further items being pulled, I would like to approve the consent agenda, including the items 6A, 6B, 6C, 6D, and 6F. Can I please get a motion? Moved by Councilor Levy. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Terrell. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes. Item 6E.
Item 6E is consideration of Resolution 2024-011, approving City Manager Gabriel Otto's performance evaluation and compensation adjustment.
And is there anyone that has a comment on that?
Madam President, you would
what
find
action is needed at this time?
the item has been read. There is no staff report, so you would be looking for any motion on the matter.
Okay. Is there such?
I'll make a motion.
And what is the motion, Councilor Day?
Postpone 6E.
Okay.
Lay over.
So do we need a motion, and is there
Second.
and a second?
So you now have a motion to postpone 6E. It's been moved by Councilor Day, seconded by Councilor Terrell. You could now seek any discussion on the matter.
Is there any discussion on the matter at this time?
Question, Madam President. So
Councilor Levy.
if we are postponing this, do we have a date specific of when we are postponing this until when it comes back before council?
The motion does not include a date. If that would like to be added, I suppose you could do that. That would complicate the motion in the second.
Any further discussion at all?
You now have a motion and a second with no discussion. You can call the question. All in favor?
All
And
in favor?
And this is to lay it over, correct?
There's a motion to lay the matter over, yes. Madam President, you can call the question.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
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 Now you have, now since you don't have action on 6E, you need a motion to approve the item.
Okay, may I please have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Nope, 6E.
I'm sorry, the
6E.
6E.
Move approval.
Moved by Councilor Levy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilor Blakely. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
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 Nay. The motion passes.
Motion passes 3-2.
Item 7 is licenses. There are none this evening. Item 8 is ordinances. 8A is consideration of ordinance number 3824 to amend sections 1.73 sub 1 sub B, 1D, 173 sub 1 sub F, 1.89 sub F sub 5 sub A, and 1.70 sub 5 sub A, and to repeal section 1.79 sub 4 sub C of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Beloit pertaining to the Board of Ethics, the Community Development Authority, the Traffic Review Committee, and the Alcohol Beverage License Control Committee.
City Attorney Elizabeth Krieger will present.
Good evening. The ordinance before you contains two sections that are meant to address the Board of Ethics with regard to two minor changes that were needed. One was making a reference to the correct municipal code section, and the other was just to make a clarification of the Plan Commission rather than Planning Commission as is listed in the ordinance. Section 3 repeals a section of the ordinance related to the CDA. That ordinance required a member of the CDA to be appointed to a member of the GBEDC. That no longer is occurring, so we are just cleaning up that language. Section 4 of the ordinance amends the residency language for ex officio positions of city engineer and a representative of the school district on the traffic review committee. And Section 5 is similar, which it amends the residency language for representative of the Beloit School District on the ABLCC. President Duncan had contacted me earlier today with some reservations about removing the residency requirement for the school board or the school district representative, and has asked that I prepare a substitute amendment that puts residency back in the ordinance related to the school board, or school district, representative. So I will be preparing that substitute amendment at her request, but I do stand ready to answer any specific questions that you might have. With regard to the residency issue, I did want to say the reason for the proposal is we were having great difficulty in getting a quorum on those two boards and then finding a representative from the school district that lived in the city. We don't have a current problem with our membership now, and that this wouldn't require that they not be a member of the, or not be a resident of the city, but it would just allow an opportunity if there wasn't such a member to include one. So I will be bringing that substitute amendment forward to your next meeting, assuming that this gets laid over for a second reading.
Thank you, Attorney Krieger. This is the first reading of the ordinance. Is there a motion to lay the ordinance over for a second reading?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Blakely, seconded by Councilor Levy. Are there any further questions or discussion? At this time, there's a motion and a second to lay the ordinance over for a second reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes.
8B is consideration of ordinance number 3826 to amend section 25.04 sub 4 sub D of the Code of General Ordinances of the City of Beloit pertaining to officials authorized to issue citations.
City Attorney Elizabeth Krieger will continue to present.
Good evening. This ordinance is generally a housekeeping ordinance. It's been several years since we last looked at this ordinance, and we've had some position title changes. So the only thing that this ordinance does is just reflect updated title changes. No additional employees or salaries or anything is changing. It's just titles. And make sure that they reflect the titles of those working in this organization that are authorized to enforce various sections of the municipal code.
Thank you. Is there a motion to lay the ordinance over for a second reading? Moved by Councilor Levy. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Day. Are there any further questions or discussion? At this time, we have a motion and a second to lay the ordinance over for a second reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes.
8C is consideration of ordinance number 3809, amending sections 1.84 sub 2, 1.84 sub 3 sub B, 1.84 sub 3 sub C, and 1.84 sub 4 sub C, 1.84 sub 5 sub C, 3, 1.84 sub 5 sub E, and 1.84 sub 9 of the Code of the General Ordinances of the City of Beloit pertaining to quorums and membership for the Landmarks Commission.
Director Julie Christensen will present.
The Landmarks Commission requested some changes to the quorum and membership standards, including in the ordinance. So we are reducing the number, reducing the quorum, the amount needed for quorum. We're also clarifying how people may be appointed. It refers to governing boards of respective organizations that don't have governing boards. Landmarks Commission did review this item at their January meeting, and they voted unanimously to recommend approval of the proposed amendments.
Thank you, Julie. This is the first reading of the ordinance. Is there a motion to lay the ordinance over for a second reading?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Terrell, seconded by Councilor Blakely. Are there any further questions or discussion? At this time, we have a motion and a second to lay the ordinance over for a second reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes.
8D is consideration of ordinance number 3822, annexing 830 West Froebel Drive and the Froebel Drive right-of-way from the town of Beloit to the city of Beloit.
This is a second reading of an ordinance. May I please have a motion to approve the ordinance as presented? Moved by Councilor Levy.
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Terrell. Are there any questions or discussion? At this time, we have a motion to approve the ordinance as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes.
8E is consideration of ordinance number 3823, annexing 510 West Frobel Drive from the town of Beloit to the city of Beloit.
This is a second reading of an ordinance. May I have a motion to approve the ordinance as presented?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Terrell. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Day. Are there any questions or discussion? At this time, we have a motion to approve the ordinance as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes.
Item 9 is appointments. There are none. Item 10 is councilor activities and upcoming events.
We will begin with Councilor Blakely.
Thanks, Madam President. I want to call everybody's attention during Black History Month to the fact that a very talented artist, Daniel Burks, who lives in Rockford and has shown his work around the country, is having his work on display at our own Beloit Art Center downtown. And his work will be up there for the entire month of February. So I encourage everybody to go take a look at this talented man's work. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Blakely. Councilor Levy. Okay, thanks, Councilor Levy. Next, Councilor Day.
No report, thank you.
Okay, wow. Thanks, Councilor Terrell.
Thank you, President Duncan. Just probably won't see everybody until after Valentine's Day, so I want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day to you and your loved ones, and all the hearts and chocolates and whatnot that you can give. I hope everybody has a good day. And I just wanted to say that I was invited to a radio station in Milwaukee to speak for a Black Candidate radio series. And basically, from what I understand, is just give my perspective of being an elected leader in the city of Beloit, and being a person of African-American descent, and how, how it affected decisions that I made, and, things of that nature. And I just want to say that even though I am African-American elected official in the city of Beloit, I do represent everybody regardless of race, background, anything. And it's definitely an honor to be invited to speak on behalf of the city of Beloit and the leadership that I've been able to provide to the people of the city of Beloit. So I would likely come back and speak on how that went at the next council meeting. But thank you. That's it.
Councilor Terrell,
Councilor Blakely, go ahead. Councilor Blakely.
Do you know when the show will air and what the call numbers of the station are? And if you don't right now, could you get word out there?
I just got word, so I'm supposed to be, we actually setting up a date now to when I'm about to go up there and speak, but it's supposed to happen this month, Black
I'll look
History
forward
Month.
to hearing it.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
absolutely. And I will announce that once it, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Terrell. Now for my council report. I want to begin by wishing Linda Charbonneau a very happy retirement. Linda had a 32-year career with the city of Beloit, and we are grateful for her dedication and many years of service. I also want to congratulate Chief Andre Sales for being recognized for his leadership as president of the Wisconsin Law Enforcement Executive Development Association. I am aware he's away at a conference, but hope he knows that we are so proud of his achievements. Keep up the great work, Chief Sales. Next, I want to give heartfelt congratulations to Mark Finnegan and Vets Roll. February 1, 2024 marked the 15th anniversary of when they started the Veterans Honor Trip to Washington, D.C. program. Each year, Vets Rolls take the World War II veterans and the Rosie the Riveters on a 4-day RV convoy to Washington, D.C. Last year, the city manager and I took part in greeting the veterans when they returned. It is truly amazing to see what that trip means to these heroes who sacrificed so much for our country. Special thanks to every person involved in making that huge effort a success. Now for my council activities. I had the opportunity to attend the 90th birthday party for Mrs. Helen Whitley. Mrs. Whitley and her family have a rich history here in Beloit. She's a member of Emmanuel Baptist Church and has helped sustain their family business, Father and Sons Cleaning, which was started in 1968. Mrs. Whitley has been a positive role model for me and so many others, and I was honored to join in her milestone celebration. I wish Mrs. Whitley many more birthdays. In addition, I attended the Beloit Memorial High School Academy Advisory Council meeting, the Visit Beloit Board of Directors meeting, the Downtown Beloit Business Association meeting, and the Greater Beloit Economic Development Corporation Executive Committee meeting. It's been wonderful to work with our city staff and so many committed individuals who are rolling up their sleeves, working hard to make our city an even better place to live. That said, there's a lot happening in our daily lives and around the world. So let's continue to stand together for peace and choose to spread more love throughout our community. This ends my report for this evening. Next, we'll go on to item 11.
Item 11 is city manager presentation. 11A was Visit Beloit presentation about the community vitality wheel.
And this was already moved up on our agenda, so we'll go to item 11B.
11B is the city manager update.
Sure.
Our
Thanks.
city manager, Jerry Gabrielatos, will provide us with an update.
Thanks very much. I was combing through emails this afternoon and saw that I was asked by my alma mater to write a column to our alums about getting into city management, so that's kind of fun. And then just today we held a after-action report regarding the fire on Yates. I've since come to learn all sorts of NIMS and ICS terms, and that's called a hot wash, for those of you that didn't know what that was, because I didn't know what it was. But I think there were about 25 people there, or 20 people there, and we debriefed about the event that occurred. And 8 of our staff are taking ICS 400 this week, and I think 18 of us are taking ICS 400 next week. So to the extent that we can be prepared for these types of incidents, we're really taking it seriously. With that in mind, I'm teeing up the next item. So if we want to move to item 12. Oh, one other announcement. I forgot to mention that our library and health department have partnered to address keeping a public health presence in Beloit. The hours that the Public Health Office of Rock County will be open at our library are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9:30 to 5. So a bunch of folks came to a council meeting in the summer. We're able to find and develop a partnership to keep that presence in the city.
Thank you. Next, item 12.
Item 12 is reports from boards and city officers. 12A is consideration of Resolution 2024-010, ratifying the declaration of emergency issued January 12, 2024, regarding the large-scale hazardous material commercial fire at 1515 Yates.
At this time, our city manager, Jerry Gabrielatos, will present.
Sure. Thank you, Council. This emergency declaration allowed us to act quickly and respond quickly to the fire that occurred on January 12th. This allows us to gain access to potential funds for reimbursement, as well as expedite standard procurement procedures. So that's all I have on that item.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Terrell, seconded by Councilor Levy. Are there any questions or discussion? At this time, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes.
Item 13 is adjournment.
May I please have a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Moved by Councilor Terrell, seconded by Councilor Day. Are there any questions or discussion?
I might want to discuss that. No, never mind.
At this time, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion passes. We are now adjourned. This ends our council meeting for this evening.